everyone, welcome to Got the Fire, where we feature people that are doing really interesting, cool things in indie, for indie, and beyond indie. I'm so excited to introduce Steve Hall, one of the co-founders of Tinker Coffee. We love coffee, all of us. And he is here. He's going to talk to us about all the cool stuff they have going on. Now, Steve, you are a former wine guy turned software guy, and now you're a coffee guy.
I'm all over the place, man.
You are all over the place. And how did you decide, you and your co-founder decide to get into coffee? It's such a competitive environment. What's the vision?
Yeah, so really, Jeff, my brother-in-law, he was working at IBM right out of school and had traveled around to a bunch of different cities and had seen all these cool coffee shops and coffee cultures, Would always come back and felt like Indy just was a little bit behind, even Chicago or St. Louis or Kansas City or Nashville or Louisville. And we just thought, man, like Indy needs a cool coffee culture, cool coffee scene. And just given the way that we had seen craft beer take off and we had seen restaurants grow, we thought the time was really right for Indy to get a better understanding of what specialty coffee was and what craft coffee was. So, it was something that we cared a lot about, and we were just really at that right stage in our career to try something entrepreneurial. So we just threw our chips in the middle and started a coffee business. So yeah, we just learned everything we could about roasting and kind of.
I mean, you all have made a commitment to coffee. It's all the details, and it really has a wide, expansive kind of reach. Like you're going to other countries and you're selecting coffee and you're making conscious decisions of what kind of coffee producers to work with, and you're bringing it here, you're roasting it and getting it into really the creme de la creme places.
Yeah.
How does that feel like to have that kind of global, local vibe?
It's awesome, and that's really one of the coolest things about coffee, I think, is just having that connection, like you said, to the global economy and also the local economy. So, just last month, Jeff and I got to go to Rwanda with one of our importers, and we got to take part in this really interesting coffee conference where basically the conference was focused around coffee producers and what challenges they're facing and what countries like Rwanda or elsewhere can do to help support coffee production in those countries. And we also got to go see a co-op in the washing station where coffee is grown and processed in the kind of southern Rwanda. So yeah, just being able to see where coffee comes from and seeing the people and meeting the people that work so hard to actually get the coffee to us here in the States is really incredible and really inspiring. And like I said, it's you really can make that connection between seeing where coffee comes from, where it grows, all the steps and pieces that have to take place in order for coffee to get to the States, and then once we get it in our hands, we have to roast it really well and get it to customers. So it's just really cool to see that whole chain.
And you all are in a host of places, right? Like, what's the quality or the feature that kind of connects all these places together that your coffee is in?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing that connects everybody that uses our coffee is just a commitment to detail and a commitment to excellence. People need to really get an understanding of, it's not hard to brew coffee in kind of the simplest terms, but it is a little tricky to nail it, to get it really right. So we like to work with people that are able to commit to paying attention to each kind of step in the process and understanding, why you use this much coffee versus that much coffee in a brew, and how you grind and how you taste and how you evaluate. All of those factors really make a big difference in the product that you ultimately give to a customer. So we like to work with people that, just have that commitment to quality and detail.
So it's almost like the culinary experience as it relates to coffee in some ways, giving people an experience, not a retail environment.
Right.
Got it. And talk about, you talked about community. What about the community that comes, from around coffee and the social glue, that coffee brings to situations? I mean, there's a reason we go for a cup of coffee, not a cup of tea. We go out for a cup of coffee. Talk about that.
Yeah, I think, coffee has always had this really great place in American culture. Just sitting down and talking with a friend of yours, catching up over a cup of coffee is really so ingrained in our culture. And it's really cool now, I think, for coffee companies and cafes to create not only that experience around the actual product, the actual cup of coffee, but also the environment that you're in. So, creating a place where people feel comfortable, people feel safe, where people feel welcomed, where people just feel comfortable sitting down and sharing ideas and speaking and just and sharing time with friends. I think that's so important. So it's cool that coffee can kind of be that connective glue, like you said.
If I was going to rewrite that song about love and marriage and it'd go together like a horse and carriage, I'd put coffee and conversation together. I mean, now let me ask you, you got this, as easy as you make it look, man. I mean, entrepreneurship is hard. Where do you go to for inspiration?
Yeah, I get inspired by a lot of different places or in a lot of different places. But when I really want to fill up my inspiration bucket, I tend to look for culinary inspiration. So I love learning about or observing what chefs are doing in terms of ingredients that they're using, the way they're structuring flavor or building flavor, the way they're presenting dishes. So we were talking chef's table earlier. I love seeing things like that visually represented, and hearing chefs talk about the things that inspire them really inspires me to do a better job and just pay super close attention to the details.
Yeah, it's so much. It's like multifaceted. It's not a binary thing. It's so many details. And what's the next step for Tinker? I mean, you all are crushing it, doing an amazing job, bringing us these amazing coffees. What's next for you guys?
The next big thing for us is really the retail side. That last mile, creating that experience so that you and I can sit down in our own shop. Shop that we can kind of control the experience or kind of help guide the experience along. So we'll be opening up our own cafe here in our roastery next year, and we are also creating a cool little piece of the company that'll do mobile coffee experiences kind of all over. So if you had an office and you wanted to create have an interesting coffee experience for your employees, we can send somebody out there and create that mobile coffee experience. So that last mile from sourcing to roasting to actually serving the coffee is the next step for us.
And with all your vision and execution, I just can't wait for that Tinker coffee shop experience and the Tinker pop-up. What up? Tinker pop-up coming our way. As my one of my heroes, Freud, says, I'm thankful for coffee and to my mom. Mom, thank you for all you've done for me. And Steve, thank you for all that you do for Indie Coffee and bringing us this amazing stuff. Thanks for being on here, man.
Thanks, Duncan.
Back to you.